What's up, guys? Howdy doody. Gosha, Curry Sauce, Pequod, Mia. Good to see you, dudes. So I did put a poll up on the Discord, and it looks like Master Collection with viewer kits, etc. won. But the PS2 is already set up, so I'm just gonna go with the PS2 today. We'll do viewer kits next time. Hope you're good though, guys. We did unlock. We'll skip through this because we're gonna watch it in a bit. We did unlock the banana camo. So let's fucking go, I guess. Let's go. New game, I suppose. Extreme.
After the end of World War II, the world was split into
Let's watch
two,
the intro. Why not?
East and West. This marked the beginning of the era called the Cold War.
So if you say I like MGS3, I believe it gives you a bunch of extra camos at the start of the game.
20 minutes to drop off.
And if you say I like MGS2, then
All right. You ready to go?
this intro starts with Snake wearing the Rykov mask.
Good.
And I can't remember what happens if you say I like MGS1. I think... I actually can't remember what each one does.
Put out that cigar. Connecting oxygen hose to interior connector. Put on
Speaking
your
of good
mask.
lunch. Brisket, pickles,
Does this
slaw.
man waste know what he's doing?
Oh, saved my other half of the sandwich. And I'm like resisting the urge to just
Approaching release point.
chow down on it
10
right
minutes
now.
to drop off.
Hey, are you deaf?
That's for later. We'll save that for later.
Depressurization complete.
Checking oxygen supply.
6 minutes to drop off. Opening rear hatch.
Sunrise.
External temperature minus 46 degrees Celsius. 2 minutes to drop off. Stand up.
You'll be falling at 130 miles per hour. Try not to get frostbite from the wind chill.
1 minute to drop off. Move to the rear.
Activate bailout bottle.
This is one for the history books. The world's first Halo jump.
10 seconds to drop off. Stand by. Status okay. All green.
Prepare for drop off. Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Spread your wings.
And fly. God be with you.
Jack, I've got some important news. The head of the CIA has finally given us the green light for the Virtuous mission.
Virtual mission?
No, the Virtuous mission. The future of our Fox unit depends on it. If it succeeds, we'll be officially organized into a unit.
Virtuous mission? Sounds like some kind of initiation ritual.
You know, don't get cocky. This isn't a training op.
Right. So what exactly is this wonderful mission?
Well, about 2 years ago, a certain Soviet scientist requested asylum in the West through one of our moles. His name is Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov. He's head of the OKB-754 Design Bureau, one of the Soviets' top-secret weapon research facilities, and the East's foremost expert on weapons development.
Sokolov? Isn't he that famous rocket scientist?
The very same. On April the 12th, 1961, the Soviets achieved the first manned spaceflight in history.
The Earth was blue, but there was no God.
Well spoken. The rocket that carried Yuri Gagarin into orbit was the A-1, known as the Vostok rocket. Sokolov is said to be the man most responsible for the multi-engine cluster used in that rocket. After Gagarin's flight, Sokolov left rocket development to become the head of the newly established Design Bureau.
From a lowly technician to head of a design bureau, that's quite a success story, so why do you want to defect?
It seems he'd become afraid of his own creations.
Afraid?
Call it a crisis of conscience.
And for that, he left his country and his family behind and went over the fence?
Not exactly. One of his conditions was that his family was also to be taken safely to the West. We used a mole to get the family out first, and succeeded in sneaking Sokolov over the Berlin Wall shortly afterwards. I was the one who conducted the operation.
The security on the eastern side was still full of holes back then. Then what?
We got Sokolov over in one piece, but the whole ordeal had left him exhausted, and we checked him into a hospital in West Berlin. It took him 2 weeks and more than 600 miles to get from the research facility in the Soviet Union to Berlin. He was in no condition to say anything coherent. And it was only a week later that we had something much bigger on our hands.
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
October the 16th, 1962, President Kennedy received word that the Soviets were in the process of deploying intermediate-range ballistic missiles in Cuba. The President demanded that the Soviets dismantle and remove the missiles. At the same time, he announced a naval blockade to prevent further missile shipments from reaching Cuba. But the Soviets didn't back down, instead placing their armed forces on secondary alert.
Hey, guns.
Transport ships carrying missiles continued on course towards Cuba. US and Soviet forces went on alert for an all-out nuclear war. Frantic negotiations.
Hey, Best Guy Snake, what's cracking, dude?
Emergency Security Council and unofficial channels.
Oh, excuse me, sorry.
Finally,
Okay,
on
so
October
I've just looked it
28th,
up.
the Soviet
If you
Union
say I like
agreed to
MGS1,
remove
your
its
stamina
missiles
lasts
from Cuba.
longer. MGS2, you get
So
the
the
riding
world
mask.
avoided a nuclear holocaust.
MGS3, if you save and quit, the demo theater
But
will
in
be
order to
unlocked
get the
already.
Soviets to pull their missiles out, we had to make a deal.
You mean
Also in the
US
original,
equipped
selecting I like
IRBMs
MGS3
from
unlocked a
Turkey?
couple of extra camos.
No. The Jupiter IRBMs deployed in Turkey were obsolete, and we were going to get rid of them anyway. They had no strategic
Do you have to
value
play through the story
whatsoever
first to
either
unlock the
US
Snake
or
versus
the
Monkey
Russians.
stages?
The
No,
Turkey deal
they're
was a
just on
ruse,
disc
a
2
cover story
of
that
Subsistence.
fed
They're just
other
there, ready to go.
intelligence agencies around the world.
So what did the Russians really want?
Sokolov. They wanted us to return Sokolov.
You mean the Soviets pulled out of Cuba just
Oh,
to get
I think
their
so.
hands on
Anyway, I'm not
Sokolov?
actually sure. Curry sauce.
That's right.
You've got me doubting myself
The
now. I'm
hell
not too
was he
sure.
working on?
At the time, we had no idea. We were running out of time. It was either give up Sokolov or risk full-scale nuclear war. In the end, we had no choice. President Kennedy gave in to Khrushchev's demand. The next day, I got Sokolov out of the hospital, handing him over to agents on the eastern side. Sokolov kept on screaming, "Save me," until he disappeared from my sight. Then, a month ago, we received some new information from one of our moles.
About Sokolov?
Yes. He was taken back to the research facility and forced to continue working on the weapon in question under KGB supervision. What's more, it's on the verge of completion.
So what kind of weapon is it? Something to do with
I
space
might
rockets?
take a look at disc
No.
3 later. It's got like one of the original
Technology.
trailer for
I guess
MGS4.
you're right.
Sorry, no,
The
the second
details
trailer I
it
think
appears
that
to
we
be a new
got.
kind of nuclear device. For half a year now, the Soviets have been conducting frequent nuclear tests at Semipalatinsk.
Something to do with the weapon, I assume.
We're talking about a secret weapon so big that Khrushchev was ready to pull out of Cuba to get it back.
Is Sokolov still in the facility?
No, according to our intelligence, he's in Selino Yask, a place in the mountains about 3 miles to the west that's known as the Virgin Cliffs.
The Virgin Cliffs. Nice name for a virtuous mission.
They moved him there just recently.
Why?
Apparently, they're
I'm very
conducting
curious how
field
they're going to
tests of the
remake
weapon.
all of
It's
these,
our best chance to
all
get
of the
him back.
classic
This
PowerPoint
mission would never have
presentation
been possible
cutscenes.
if he was still in the research facility. This is our last chance. Sokolov must have known.
Very
that
curious
too
how they're
when he
gonna-
contacted us.
Update these, you know. And I hope they do. I hope they bring them back. I do miss a good Metal Gear PowerPoint cutscene, you know. Those cutscenes just open PowerPoint on your PC. Virgin Cliffs is where you live, Prof? Nice. You defend your virtuousness on the Virgin
Listen up,
Cliffs.
Jack. Your mission is to infiltrate Selino Yask in the Soviet mountains.
Now it
Ensure
will
the
be
safety of
changed. I mean,
Sokolov
they're gonna
and bring
have
him
to
back
write.
the West.
They're gonna have to. Oh, I hope they do update them and change them.
If we don't get
There's a
Sokolov
lot of
back
stuff
before
when you
that
look at the
weapon is
HD
complete,
collection and the
we'll
Master
be facing a
collection.
major crisis.
There's a lot of stuff that's still like
Clock
low
is
res,
ticking.
you know, that I hope that they update. BPF HQ is in the Virgin Cliffs. You better believe it.
Once
Better
we've confirmed
believe
the
it.
rescue of Sokolov, stand by at the recovery point. A recovery balloon will be dropped at that point. Helium will be pumped into the balloon to inflate it. The process takes about 20 minutes. Once it's complete, the gunship's arm will latch onto the balloon and pull it up.
The Fulton surface-to-air recovery system. I'm familiar with the theory.
Delta is like an
It's
80%
been combat-proof.
memory lane trip. Yeah, I was
think
explaining this
Sokolov's
earlier
up to
to D.
The
like-
shock will be less than during a parachute jump, and the arm can handle
It's
up
a
to 500
remake.
pounds.
But
So you're planning on
it's
going over the
somewhere
border in
between
a
a
single
remake and a
combat
remaster, right? You know, it's definitely being
Which is
remade,
equipped
new
with
engine,
two
and all the rest of
6-barrel
it.
20mm Vulcan cannons,
But
as well
it's
as
so
two
close to the
40mm
original that
machine
it's
guns.
kind of akin to a
Sounds like she could hold
remaster.
her own against a battalion
You know,
of
something like
tanks.
the way they did
Even with the
Tony
fuel in the
Hawk's,
reserve
the
tank,
way
we're
they
facing
did
a 4-hour
Spyro,
time limit.
Crash
If all
Bandicoot.
goes well, it shouldn't take more than a few hours.
It's
Home in time for
closer to
dinner.
one of those than it
But if
is
anything goes wrong,
Resident Evil
You'll be
2
eating
or
dinner,
3.
breakfast,
and
You know
all
what I
the
mean?
rest of your meals in the jungle.
It's a remake, Aster? Yeah. If you choose I Like MGS5, they replace David Hayter with Kiefer Sutherland. Cuts Snake's lines down. He has like 6 sentences in the whole game. You just hope they keep the things that made MGS3 stand out at its time. I think it's safe to say that's going to be the case, right? They're keeping as close to OG MGS3 as possible. Very deliberately, I think. I think MGS3 is the safe bet to remake. It's first chronologically, so it's great for new players just jumping into the series for the first time. You know, there's no previous game baggage, like lore baggage. Really. It works well on its own as a standalone game. It's modern enough that recreating all of its maps, all of its areas, and inserting a modern over-the-shoulder
Do you copy?
um,
You're already in
shooting
enemy
system
territory, and somebody
isn't
might
going to
need
break the
sneak
game
in.
in the same way that
From here on out, we'll be using code names to refer to
doing
each
that
other.
to something like MGS1
Your code
does,
name
you
for
know?
this mission will be Naked Snake.
Twin Snakes,
I'll be referring to you as Snake
aka
from now
Twin
on.
Snakes.
You're not to mention
So it's
your
the
real
safe
name.
bet.
Snake.
And
What, you don't
all the
like
audio
snakes?
recordings and stuff were of high enough quality
Seen
because
one
it's
before,
modern
haven't you?
enough
In survival.
that they can just reuse all of the
I'm glad to hear that.
game's
I'd ever
audio.
order one in a restaurant, but
Be
you know,
careful, you might not have a choice.
It's the
what
safe
about you,
bet.
Major? What should I call
And if
you?
they change
Let's
anything
see.
too much,
I'll be Tom.
then they're going to
Or
invoke the
Major
ire
Tom.
of the community, aren't they? You know,
This will be a sneaking
this
mission.
way they can stay
You
as
must not be seen by the enemy.
close
You must leave no
to the
trace of
original
your
as
presence.
possible,
Is that
keeping
clear?
the fans happy,
This kind of infiltration is the Fox
while
unit's
also,
speciality.
you know,
In other
re-releasing
words,
it
weapons
for
and equipment
a new
will procure on
audience.
site. That goes for food as well. You're
I think
completely naked,
MGS2
just as your name implies.
will
Great.
probably
Now I see why you asked
be
me. if I wanted
next. I
snakes.
think they'll remake
I
2
suppose
next.
calling me Snake was your idea of a joke too.
No, there's a good reason for that. I'll tell you later when the time is right.
So,
Gotcha.
I think
Getting
3
back
is
to
the
the
safe bet.
subject,
I think
exactly
1 is
am
going
I
to be the
supposed to
hardest
keep
for them to
myself?
remake.
You've been issued a knife
And then I think
tranquilizer
2
gun.
is also a
Use them to
relatively
hunt for
safe
food.
bet.
You'll also find some
It
medical
goes up
supplies your
in
backpack.
sorry, it goes down
Yeah.
in
about
difficulty
backpack. I
in terms
lost
of
it in
which
a
ones are
tree
going
on
to
the
be the
way
easiest to
down.
remake. 1 is going to be the hardest. 2 a little harder, but
I see. Well,
not too bad.
better go back
Sorry, a
and get
little easier.
You
And
know
then
where it
3 is the easiest for them to remake,
No problem. I can see it from here.
in my
It's
opinion.
stuck on a branch.
Yeah, next up is 1. Yeah, to be fair, it
Climb a
probably will
tree.
be right.
Stand in front
Just-
of a tree
just thinking
that's
about
covered in
it.
ivy and press the action button.
1 is the
be
next one
monitoring
that
your
kind of
progress
stands
as we're ready.
alone. You can't really
Can't risk violating
re-release
Soviet
2
airspace
without the
being on
context
guard.
of 1, can you?
My frequency is 140.85. I'll give you a call if I need to talk to you. If you need to talk to me,
But I think
use the
that's going to be
send
infinitely harder for them to remake.
Okay, Snake, go get your backpack.
I mean, the reason they didn't use all the dialogue, the reason they re-recorded all the dialogue in Twin Snakes was because of how low quality it was, right? It didn't have as high fidelity, so they needed to re-record the audio. And there we go. There's a risk right there, you know, because the re-recorded audio in Twin Snakes is awful. Like, it just doesn't sound right, as I'm sure you'll all agree. So there's a risk. There's your first risk right there, re-recording the audio, which is what they'll have to do. And then your second risk is the gameplay mechanics. So are they going to, like MGS3, are they going to give it an over-the-shoulder modern shooter, you know, like we first saw in MGS4? You know, is that what we're going to get? In which case, you break a lot of the game. Ocelot Fight being the prime example. Or do they not touch the game mechanics and just give it a facelift? Make it look pretty, but have it play exactly the same as the original? I haven't even got my guns yet, Limbs. How can I death pop without my guns?
I see you've retrieved your backpack, Snake. To equip a weapon, it's necessary to take it out of your backpack. In the survival viewer, choose Weapon from the backpack. Your available weapons will be displayed in a window in the
So,
upper
yeah.
left. From that list, choose the weapon you want to equip.
I've got
press
some
the
thoughts
enter
on
button. For
a
other
remake of
equipped items,
MGS1.
just do the
That's
same
going to be the
thing
hardest
from
one for them to do,
Got it.
I think.
Use the survival viewer.
And then I think once they've
Yep,
they've
that's
done
right.
their run of remaking
Survival is
Metal Gears,
fundamental
I
to
think
this
they
mission.
might actually move on to
After you've been
MG1
out in the field
and
for a while,
MG2.
your stamina will start to drop. If your stamina gets too low, it'll affect your performance. You won't be able to shoot accurately, for example.
So they've got-
and your wounds won't heal as smoothly. Keep
They've
an
got
eye
the
on your
broad
stamina
strokes,
so it
right?
doesn't
MG1
run
and
out.
MG2 just
To
gives them
recover
nice
lost
broad
stamina,
strokes
you
to
can
work
hunt for
with.
local flora
It's an
and
old
fauna.
game. There isn't tons of
You can
dialogue and
use either your
cutscenes, obviously.
tranquilizer gun or your knife to hunt.
So they're going to need
My only weapon
to
is a Mark 22
extrapolate out, right? They're going to need to...
That's right. It's been fitted with
that
its
if they
own
were to
suppressor.
remake MG1 and MG2, they
However,
would
the suppressor will deteriorate every time you
have a
fire.
lot of
Once
canvas
its
to work from.
durability reaches
It's not a
zero,
blank
the noise
canvas,
suppression effect
but
will be
there's a
gone.
lot of canvas there to
Don't
work
get
with,
too trigger
and they
happy
would
with
have
it.
to come up with their own
Suppressor's
stuff.
durability is shown
And that
in
in
the
itself is a risk
Any
because
weapons and equipment
they're then
beyond what
stepping on
you're
Kojima's
carrying now,
toes, and you
you'll have to find as
risk
you go.
the fans not taking to it, etc., etc. But I think that would be a good. I think them
Solo
remaking
covert action
MG1
is
and
a
MG2
standard
would be
Fox
good.
operating procedure. You can't leave
Could
any
be good.
traces
It
of
has the
your
potential to
presence.
be good.
No weapons, equipment, footprints, sweat, or bodily waste. The same goes for bullets and cartridges.
Develop
too.
the engine first,
Your
then make
presence in
MG1
enemy
and 2.
territory
Yeah,
is
this is.
already a
I mean, this is going to be their
violation of
first game in
international
Unreal, right?
conventions of warfare. There aren't supposed
Rip
to be
Fox
any
engine.
American soldiers in Russia.
You're a real one.
It could spark an
But,
international incident.
Once they've
Can't let
kind of
anyone
cut their
see.
teeth a little bit
You can't let the enemy
on
know you're
remaking
there.
3 and
It's a
potentially
stealth
1 and
mission.
potentially 2,
You're a ghost, Snake.
where
Every
the
sense
entire
of the word.
game,
And there'll be no rescue if you're captured.
has its entire plot written and all the rest of it,
Then I'll just have to take
then
care of
maybe they can
myself,
get
huh?
someone to take the
I'm
helm
afraid
and
so.
step into
You've been
Kojima's
given a
boots
fake
and do a
death bill
remake of
for that
MG1 and
purpose.
MG2 and,
SAS guidelines stipulate that soldiers on covert ops like this one
you know,
be issued a potassium cyanide capsule.
so MG1 and
Tape it to your body
the
so
old
you can
games
take it
came
when you
out,
need to.
they were what they
How
were,
generous of you.
and then every installment after that kind of
Use it if you're
expanded
taken
on the
prisoner
world of
by the
Metal
enemy,
Gear and added
send you
stuff.
into a state of
You
false
know,
death
for
for a short
example,
time.
the first thing that came to mind then was that
Thinking that I'm
Vulcan
different.
Raven, in
So
his
how do I come back to
backstory,
life?
Just take
he
the
was at
revenge.
Outer Heaven. He was an Outer Heaven
That
mercenary.
thing they put in my tooth before the mission.
Obviously, you didn't meet
That's the one. But
meet
be
Vulcan
careful.
Raven in Outer Heaven
Remain in a state
because
of false death for too long.
he hadn't been
Nothing will
designed
bring you
yet,
back.
you know, and he hadn't
Remember that.
appeared yet, thought of as a
I'll keep it in
character even.
mind. You said this
So
was
that's the
so
kind of
good.
stuff that they can sort of retroactively put
I
into
guess that
something
means
like
I
an
can count
MG1
on any
remake.
reinforcements.
Correct.
Obviously, Snake
The
wouldn't
mission
meet him.
rests entirely in your
I don't know, maybe he could be there in some
You'll want me an
capacity,
army.
Relax,
Snake wouldn't
there's a
meet him,
support team ready to back
and
you
obviously
up over the
MG1 would
bridge.
have references to 5,
I'll
Venom
introduce them to you.
Snake.
This time, survival
know?
is of utmost importance.
So there's a
First member
lot
of
of
the
stuff
support
that they
team
can
will be in
pull
charge of
from
monitoring
since
your
MG1
personal
came out and
actions
inserted
and
into a
medical
remake of
services,
MG1
as well as recording your mission data.
and 2.
She's a member of Fox as well, and she's here on the.
I don't know,
country
it's just
visit.
like,
She,
Hello, Snake.
they
I'm
could make
Hannah.
something great out of
Nice
it,
to
you
meet
know?
paramedic.
As in a medic who comes in by parachute.
Aren't you going to tell me your real name?
Are you going to tell me yours, Mr. Snake?
My name, huh? It's John.
Most people
Doe.
don't know what
And they
MG1
call you
even
Jack
is,
for short. You're a
so it's
regular
just easy for them to
Pasadena.
take creative
My
liberty and do
name
their own
means
thing.
nothing
Yeah,
on
so
the
they can
battlefield. After a week,
they could do their own thing with it
What's your name?
Jane Doe.
while also
Very funny.
not doing their
I
own
wasn't
thing
joking.
and
But I'll
taking
tell
from
you
the
one
established
only, he
law.
managed to make it back alive.
You know?
My frequency is
Did I notice the remake's release date?
145.73.
It's close to Kojima's birthday. I'm
She's
very
also in
surprised
charge
they
of
didn't
recording
release
your
it
mission
on
data. Whenever you want to save, send a message
3
over to
days
the
earlier, right?
save
Because
frequency,
the
140.96.
Operation Snake in World,
So
in
Cindy
universe,
actually
takes place on
recorded
August
the mission
25th, doesn't it?
That's right. It also
it's interesting
records
that-
the state of your health.
Oh, which is also Kojima's birthday, right?
There's one more
25th?
person I want to introduce you to, Snake. Speaking of snakes, you remember the boss, don't you? A legendary soldier and your mentor. Actually, it was the boss that got the DCI's authorization in the first place. She's going to be serving as Fox's mission advisor.
Boss is?
She also helped me plan this mission. She and I were at SAS together.
Jack, is that you? How many years has it been?
Diane Simmons.
That's right. It's me.
Over to you, Diane.
Talk to me. Let me hear your voice.
It's been 5 years, 72 days, and 18 hours.
You've lost weight.
You can tell just by the sound of my voice.
Of course I can. I know all about you.
Really? Well, I don't know anything about you.
What's that supposed
The other thing to
mean?
remember is that
Why'd you disappear? on
Kojima
me all
wanted
of
to
a sudden?
hand over Metal Gear
I
for
was
years.
in a top secret mission.
It just sucks
You
that,
didn't need me anymore.
But there were still so
you
many
know,
things I
the
wanted
situation
you
that
teach
led to
me.
that was so
No.
bad, but
I taught you
Basically what he
everything you
wanted for
needed
so
to know
long.
about fighting techniques. I taught you all I could. The rest you needed to learn on your own.
Techniques, sure. But what about how to think like a soldier?
you hope Death Stranding 2 is
How to think
November?
like a soldier?
Yeah, I hope so
can't
too.
teach you that. A
I'm looking forward to
soldier needs
that.
to be
Can't wait for
strong
that.
in spirit, body, and technique. And the only thing you can learn from someone else is technique.
You just watched Ministry of
In
Ungentlemanly
fact,
Warfare?
technique
I've been
doesn't
meaning to
even
watch
matter.
that.
What's most important
Silly good
is
fun about
spirit.
World War II SAS.
Spirit and body are like two sides of a single coin. They're the same thing. I can't teach you how to think. You'll just have to figure it out for yourself. Listen to me, Jack. Just because soldiers are on the same side right now doesn't mean they always will be. Having personal feelings about your comrades is one of the worst sins you can commit. Politics determine who you face on the battlefield. And politics are a living thing. They change along with the times. Yesterday,
I also think that an MG1 and MG2 remake,
Is that why you abandoned me?
cutscenes and
No,
dialogue
it
and
had
all the
nothing
rest
to
of
do
it,
with
the
you.
story
I
side of it,
already told you, Jack. I was
shouldn't
on a
feel
top
like a
secret
Metal Gear
mission.
game.
A soldier has to
As
follow
controversial as that
whatever
might
orders
sound.
he's given. It's not his place to question why.
Like,
But
they
you're
don't have
looking for a
Kojima's template
reason
to work from
fight.
with those games, you
You
know,
are a
for
natural
cutscenes
born
and dialogue
fighter,
and
but you're
writing.
not quite a soldier.
And I
A
think
soldier is a political
that
tool
whoever's
in a
brave
war.
enough to take the
That's
helm on that
doubly true if
again,
he's a
a
career
hypothetical remake of
Right and
MG1 and
wrong
2,
have no place
should
in
put
his
their own
mission. He has
stamp
no
on it.
enemies and no
In the same way
friends.
that
Only
Rising has its own
mission.
stamp on it.
You
It's totally
follow
different. It
orders.
doesn't feel like a Metal Gear game,
That's
you know?
what being a soldier is.
No, I'm not saying an MG1 and 2
I have
remake
to
should
get
be,
the
you know,
job done. I don't think
a
about
bit of a meme,
politics.
like Rising has
That's not
become,
the same thing.
but it should have its
Sooner or
own
later,
vibe.
your conscience is going
It
to
should
guide
have
you.
its own,
In the end, you have to
you know,
choose whether you're
vision.
going to live as a soldier
Someone's
or just
someone's
another man with
own
a
vision,
gun.
as opposed to
There's a
trying to
saying,
emulate
Valiant.
Kojima's.
Loyalty to the end.
I think it should just be
Do you
something
know what
brand
it
new.
means?
Being
Gameplay,
patriotic.
you know, it should be a
means
Metal Gear,
devoting yourself to your
as everyone knows and loves.
I follow the
Just a
president
fucking
to the top
class
brass.
stealth
I'm
game
ready to die for them if
at the absolute
necessary.
bleeding edge of
Presidents of the
awesome,
top brass won't be
you
there
know, stealth
forever.
gameplay.
Once their terms are up,
But
others
then
will
the
take their
story
place.
side of
I
it,
follow the will of the leader.
someone
no
should
matter
step
who's
up
in
and
charge.
try and
People
put their
are the
mark on
ones
it,
who
I think.
dictate the missions.
Then who does?
The times. People's
Rising its own
values
thing, but it
change
still
over
has the
time,
energy that made Metal
and so
Gear.
do the leaders of a country.
Yeah,
So there's no
I guess I
such
see
thing
what
as
you
an
mean,
enemy in
but
absolute terms. The
if you
enemies we
think
fight
about
are
it,
only
it
enemies in
does
war
its own thing,
sometimes,
doesn't it?
constantly
It's
changing with the times.
like Metal Gear can be campy
As long
and
as we
cheesy at
have
times.
loyalty
It
to
quite
the
often
end,
is.
There's no point in
But
believing
Rising
in
just
anything,
Dialed
even
that up
those
to
we
11, you
love.
know? That's a fucking
That's the
Platinum
way a
Games game
soldier's
right there.
supposed to think.
You know what I mean?
The only thing we can believe in.
They're doing their
with
own thing with
absolute
it.
certainty
They did their
is
own
the
thing with it
mission
and just
ahead.
took the Metal
All
Gear
right, but do
story
me a
and
favor.
just went off in a totally other new direction.
Snake. Oh, right.
And I think at the
Your
time it
code
was a
name is
little,
Snake. It suits you well.
it
That's
wasn't
right.
very
The
well
legendary
loved, but I
unit
think in the
that
years
Boss put
since it's
together in
become
World War II was
really,
Snake,
really
the
loved
Cobra
by
Unit, a group of heroes
not
that
just
fought
Metal
the
Gear
war to an
fans, I
end
think
and
just
saved the world.
game fans in general, right?
If you've got a legendary hero backing you up, you'll be fine. Isn't that right, Snake?
Yeah, I can't think. of
Stolen
anything
election
else I
rigged?
have with
Yeah.
me. Oh,
I did
One more
I did a
thing,
vote today
boss.
on the Discord, guys, before I went live.
good to hear your voice again.
Sorry, I'm talking all over the dialogue, by the way.
After all,
I did a
heroes
vote
have
on
either
as to
left
whether
mark
I
out
would
along
play
the
MGS3 on
way.
original
You
hardware,
were always
or
busy
I would play the
guerrilla
Master
warfare
Collection
and
with like
infiltrating buildings.
point
But
redeems,
this is the jungle.
viewer kits, and things like that.
Survival is going to be key.
And
Those CQC techniques
the
I
Master
taught you
Collection
are
with viewer
surely
kits
on
won the
its
vote.
CQC.
But this is not a
Close
fucking
quarters
democracy.
combat
I have the
now.
final say, and the
I've been in
PS2 was
Marine
already
Corps
set
for
up,
the
and I couldn't
past
be
few
bothered to
years.
pack it
Probably
away.
pretty
So
rusty.
MGS3 OG hardware it
I'll be here
is.
to help you remember. After all, this is your first
You think it
actual
should either be
survival
completely
mission.
faithful
I'll
or be its own
supporting you over
interpretation of
the way.
MGS1.
Where are you, boss?
That's why you think the Twin Snakes
The
falls
boss
so
is
flat on his face,
communicating
because they
with us by
half-assed
radio
both.
from aboard a
It just
Permit
doesn't
class
hit like the
submarine in the
original.
Arctic Ocean.
And that's the other thing
My
as well, right?
frequency is
The,
141.80.
for want of a better term,
Call me
the
when you want
vibes
advice on
of
battle
MGS1
techniques.
Gotcha.
is going to be
Your
a
mission is
difficult thing to
retrieve Dr.
recreate.
Sokolov. Dr. Sokolov is being held in an
And,
abandoned
yeah.
factory located to the north of your current position. Avoid heavy combat and don't let anyone see you. Don't forget that this is a stealth mission.
Sorry, Cap. Glad you had a nice eep.
Snake,
Hey, Prof, look at me.
try to remember some of the basics
I'm
of
the captain now.
CQC.
As a slasher game, it's amazing. So just for that, deserves all the praise it has nowadays. Yeah, for sure. It's great. And for the longest time, I avoided it. Just because of the type of game it is. It wasn't really my jam. I found it really hard, and I never finished it the first time I played it. But then when I eventually got around to knuckling down and finishing it, I fucking loved it. It's a great game. blood-smelling disc thing Kojima thought up. Didn't Sony try and patent that shit or have patented that shit since? Kojima's like, where's my fucking cut? Oh, is PSN still down, by the way, guys? Did I get extra camo? Oh, I'm looking forward to being able to change camo on the fly, as opposed to having to go into a menu. Wind Snake. I don't even know how I got these on my memory card. Downloadable content. We're gonna have to pay for this shit. You realize that, right, with Delta? Oh, banana. There's our extra camos. Where's the fucking DPM camo? We're gonna have to wear the inferior Flecton camo. Flecton hype. Nah, I'm only joking. Flecton is a good camo. Them Germans knew what they were doing with the camo. Nice work with the apes. Yeah. That was good fun. And it did make me want some kind of VR missions or MGS3 roguelite or something extra, you know? Oh, you fucking nerd. Something a little bit more from Delta. It makes me want extra stuff. Extra replayability, you know? From Delta. I hope they add some extra stuff. Like extra ops, if you will, exactly. Like what Last of Us did? Yeah, something like that. Like, I don't know. Imagine you start the game, no cutscenes, obviously. You start at Drmuche South, and you got to make your way to Grozny Grad and beyond. Each new area has randomized guards, patrol routes, camos, weapons, ammo. Each new area you go into is randomized. Maybe it gives you an objective. Eliminate all the guards. Collect all the keratin. Find this item. Or find this animal or monkey or whatever. But just every area of the game you go through sequentially, or even if it's randomized, you know, I could leave Drmuche South and end up in, I don't know, Krasnogoye Mountaintop or something, right? You know what I mean? Just randomize the game in some way. Just make it infinitely replayable or something. I don't know. I just want something extra out of, you know, out of Delta. I want them to add some more stuff.
Soldiers. They're probably KGB troops. Sent
You
to
hope they
guard
add
Sokolov.
insurance for your save file? Paid with Delta coins?
AK-47s and grenades.
Oh, Mother Base coins. Remember Mother Base coins? I still have a fuckload of Mother Base coins.
Snake, your presence in Soviet territory is already a violation of
You
international
die, you wake
law.
up in another part of the game.
Can't let the
Yeah.
Kremlin find out that the CIA and the American government
Buck
are involved.
naked.
Contact with the enemy is strictly prohibited. Don't engage them in battle either. This is a stealth mission. Got that?
The Major is right. The point of this mission is to sneak through the jungle without being seen. The success of the mission depends on how well you use your camouflage. Change your camouflage by selecting Camouflage from the Survival Viewer. The uniform
Did you know that
option
if you
lets
know
you
what
pick
you
your
know,
uniform,
you
while the
do know
face
what you
option lets
don't
you
know,
change
but you
your
don't
face
know what
paint. Choosing
you know.
camouflage
Therefore,
that blends in with your surroundings
you know what
will
you know.
help you conceal yourself more
Well, now I know,
effectively.
Maui. Thank you.
Also, don't forget that
Boys, look at my
anything that
fucking
moves will
sandwich.
stand out in the jungle. If you just stand up and run around like an idiot, you're bound to be spotted. But if you crawl
Look at that
instead,
fucker.
you'll be
Oh,
able to sneak
brisket
by
and
without
pickles
being
and cheese
noticed.
and slaw. Let's fucking go.
You can see
British
how
cuisine.
effective your camouflage is by looking at the camo index. The camo index shows how well your current camouflage blends in with the surrounding area. The higher the value, the harder you are to spot, and vice versa. The key
I know how to use camo. Say goodbye right now. No, I'm saving it. It's for later. But how does it taste? Well, if I put the banana camo on, everything will taste delicious. That's what you use that for. Unhinge my jaw and just eat the whole thing in one. Fucking delicious brisket in the jungles of Russia. Why did he start without... There was one bullet missing. Oh, fuck.
Who's that?
What you got for me, bro? That it?
Freeze! No, wait!
OG, mate. We doing OG shit today. Hence the ever so slightly stretched picture. Life medicine. Nice. Redeemed eat sandwich. Ooh, crouch walk is gonna be fucking lit.
I think I saw something.
I love how wearing this doesn't affect your camo index in the slightest. Would I do a ghost run of MGS3? Could do. Oh wow, banana camo. +5. Really? Squares is the best here? Really? Alright then. Oh, I hope Delta fixes this shit. This has always bugged me about this game. How your camo index is always like 0 when you're up in a tree. Like, surely it should just be dependent on like Like if you wear tree camo when you're up in a tree, you know? Should be decent camo.
Something there. Huh?
Did not see that guy. His camo index was high.
Huh? What was that?
That's what the broccoli was they were holding? I couldn't identify. Was it broccoli? Is that what it's supposed to be?
Who was that?
Who was that?
Who's that? I think I saw something.
Holy shit, they see you from fucking miles away on Extreme.
Huh. Guess I'm seeing things. Huh?
Parsons. Look at the resolution. I know.
Just my imagination.
Such square. Playing on my OG PS2. Wondering if I can fix the stretch. You make it a bit wider. Should we have a look? Oh no, I can't. I can't change it. It's a 1920 by 1080. That's what this little doohickey that I've got that plugs into the back of my PS2, that's what it does. It changes the signal to be 1080p. And if I piss about with the resolution, it's probably not even going to capture the image. It's very temperamental. Current ad on Twitch. Baxboy men's shirt. Slim fit. Only €23.99, including VAT. How much is that in rupees? We shoot the bees. Yeah, fuck it. Let's shoot the bees. How do I get the PS2? You legit can't find them. The PS2 was donated to me by my buddy. He was like clearing out a bunch of shit. And he gave me his PS2 and his old copies of Metal Gear and some other controllers and memory cards and bits and bobs. But it's an old OG fat PS2 model. You still have your silver PS2 Slim from when you were a homunculus? I do have a PS2 Slim. It's currently just gathering dust under my sofa, but I think I lost like the power lead for it or something. It doesn't take a, you know, regular power lead that all the other PlayStations have and take. So I've never been able to use it, and then my buddy donated his old one to me. You still have your old consoles? I still have my original PS1. That's just over there. And the doohickey allows me to play that as well. I've got my original PS3. No, I haven't. Well, I do. It's also under the sofa gathering dust. What was I playing? I was playing something. I was playing the HD collection on it. And stupidly, I put a fucking candle on top of it, like a scented candle. Just didn't even think. And then after a big HD collection sesh, Peace Walker, I think we were playing, I like touched the top of my PlayStation. You could have scrambled an egg on that shit, fried an egg on it, and I think that burnt it out or something, and now it just doesn't work. So it's entirely my own fault. But then luckily, my buddy who donated me his PS2, he also gave me his old PS3, so I had a replacement.
There are sentries posted around the perimeter.
While I still have my original PS3, it's fucked. And that anyway, that PS3 was probably like my 4th or 5th PS3. I went through a bunch. I got Yellow Light of Death
inside the factory.
quite a few
You should
times.
be holding him in a room in the northeast section.
Northeast section. Got it.
Be careful. Your mission is to bring Sokolov back alive. He must not be exposed to any kind of danger. Do not approach Sokolov while in the alert phase.
Right.
Oh, and one more thing, Snake.
You mean there's more?
No, it's just that when you get to Sokolov, I want you to
Did I
tell
try
him something.
baking my Yellow Light of Death PS3 in the oven?
Sorry for being
No,
so
but apparently there was a hack where you
Is that
could
all?
Yes.
Understood.
stick a
Beginning my approach to the target.
hairdryer underneath it to remelt the solder or something like that. There was a hack to get another couple of weeks out of your PlayStation. I reckon I could probably fix that PS3 that I've got under there. That's why I've kept it and not just thrown it out. Because I reckon I could fix it.
I'm just. I think I saw something.
You got Yellow Light of Death on your fat PS3? Yeah.
Huh. Guess I'm seeing things.
Probably better off with more professional solutions. I guess, but it would be nice to open it up and have a little tinker around, you know? See if I could fix it myself. I might even be able to, like, put some custom firmware on it or shit, or some shit.
What's wrong? Huh? HQ. Huh? What's going on?
Fuck, I'm making a pig's ear of this. Yeah, I've got a PS3 that lives. We're good.
Support unit, confirm their status.
Just get a blowtorch at the bottom of your PS3 real quick. Yeah. Is the PSN still down in North America? I don't know. I'm actually wondering if it's down. Is it still down?
What's wrong?
Oh, I ain't even gonna bother. We're just gonna get out of there, boys. Just getting out of there.
What's wrong? HQ, respond. Control here. We're under enemy fire. Enemy's position is unknown. Going into alert formation.
Acknowledged. Keep your eyes open.
No worries, Cap. Spot me up there? Did.
Guess I'm seeing
shit! Oh, did I fall down? Oh god, I'm gonna die. Oh jeez. Oh fucking jeez.
Acknowledged. Eliminate all enemies.
You fuckers. Let's hope someone's hacking them to steal PT. Yeah, it's pretty wild. Let's hope it's not a repeat of, what was it, 2011? And when it was down for like 7 weeks or some shit? That would suck.
What the? What the? I'm just seeing things. Huh? Who's that?
These buttons are a bit sticky. What was my friend doing with this PS2 controller? That's what I want to know. It's probably a breach, right? They've probably been hacked. Any word from them? Have they said anything? No word from them? Oh, it's definitely a hack then, isn't it?
I think I saw something. Huh. Guess I'm seeing things.
Do I have any objects to throw? Trying to avoid using the Mark 22 as much as I can. Fucking hornet's nest. That'll do the job.
Huh? What's that sound?
Release the bees.
There's nothing here. What the?
Oh, right then, the Soviets invented SOP. Fucking love that for me.
I see him.
Oh, bad time to reload. Oh, bad nade. Sake. Oh, that's an interesting death animation. Oh, I don't think I've ever seen that death animation.
Snake, what happened? Huh? Who's that?
Freeze.
No, wait. Uh. Uh.
Suppressor for the M16, alrighty. Hornet's Nest, just in case. You never know when you're going to need pocket bees. You ever seen this technique before? Line up your shot with a scope. Quickly go into first person mode on your gun. And your pistol. And pop! Really? Does the boss have anything to say about the M16? Oh, no, of course, she's defecting. She's busy defecting right now. I'm detecting 2 guards. Yeah, remember to punch the scientist in the bowels? I will try to remember. It's a risky shot.
Freeze.
Oh, didn't mean to shoot you. Quickly,
Don't shoot me,
give me some
please.
items. I'll do.
Freeze. Freeze.
HQ.
This is
Oh.
HQ.
Let's get in there before backup arrives.
Control here. One of our guys is down. Go into
Twix crispy rolls. Don't bother.
Acknowledged.
Oh, I had some wrappers for them today. D says they're great. I think you're fucking lying, Limbs, to be honest with you, mate. To be honest with you, I think you're lying. I think you just want them all to yourself and you don't want me to go and buy up any of the supply. That's what I think. Back to my mental sandwich. I might.
You must be Sokolov.
Nah, I'm gonna have to try it myself.
One of Vulcan's
I'm gonna have to
men.
try it myself, and I'll let you know what I think.
You
But
never get it from me.
the Milky Way. No, Milky Way. Is it
I'm
Milky
a
Way?
CIA agent.
Crispy rolls, the OGs.
I've come to
They're
escort you back
amazing,
to the
but
other
our
side
shop
of the
ran out
Iron
of them
Curtain.
because we bought them all.
Your
So we were like,
CIA.
oh,
Yeah.
what's the next best thing?
I was sent by
Twix.
Major Zero. The man
There's
who got you
also-
out 2 years ago.
A Galaxy chocolate equivalent as well. D says they're not great though. She says the Twix ones are pretty good.
I have a message
So
from him.
I'm gonna have to try them.
What is it?
He said to tell you sorry for being so late.
Did he now?
What does it mean?
It means he's a man of his word. But we've got no time for this. You have to get me out of here before they arrive.
Who's they?
Colonel Volgin of Gru. You in the West know him as Thunderbolt.
Thunderbolt? Never heard of
I
him.
am gonna eat the shit out of this sandwich though.
He's a member of the Army's extremist faction, a man who seeks to seize control of the motherland. Ever since the Cuban Missile Crisis 2 years ago, Khrushchev has been pursuing a policy of peaceful coexistence with the West. Despite resistance and criticism from hawks in the army and the provincial authorities, Khrushchev has managed to suppress the opposition so far. But the failure of his agricultural policies has put him in a precarious position. And on top of that, the tragedy last November.
President Kennedy's assassination.
Precisely. In a sense, Khrushchev has lost his biggest partner, and his power base is rapidly crumbling away. A certain group is plotting to use this opportunity to seize power by rallying the anti-government forces, overthrowing Khrushchev, and installing Brezhnev and Kosygin in his place. The mastermind behind this plot is Colonel Volgin of the GRU. He has control over another secret weapons research facility much like this one, OKB-812, known as the Granin Design Bureau, and is using it to further his plans. But that is not enough to satisfy him. Now he's plotting to seize the secret weapon I have been developing here and use it as leverage in his bid for power. The intelligence says that they are going to make their move during the test.
Then, the soldiers outside.
Exactly. They wouldn't need that many men just to keep me inside. Their orders were to prevent Colonel Volgin from capturing me. even if it meant killing me in the process, or so it would seem. Volgin will come. I'm sure of it. You must get me out of here before then.
Leave it to me.
By the way, your Russian is superb. Where did you learn to speak it?
From my mentor.
Is that so? America's truly a frightening country.
Having second thoughts?
No. I have no love for this place. Let's go.
Major, this is Snake. Sokolov is safe with me. He's doing fine. No injuries.
Good work, Snake. Now hurry up and get Sokolov to the recovery point. We'll rendezvous with you there.
Roger.
What about the sentries?
I had to kill them. There was no other way. But no one will know we were involved.
I see.
What about the boss?
We lost contact with the boss some time ago.
What happened?
It's probably just a weak signal. Just hurry and get Sokolov out of there.
Freeze!
So
Quiero,
this
quiero.
is the legendary boss.
Huh?
Huh? We meet at last.
You're from the Ocelot unit of Spetsnaz.
I got a new appreciation for Twixes.
What's a Gru soldier
Because
doing here?
when I was in Iceland, they were the cheapest chocolate you could buy. Everything else was like £5 for a bar of chocolate. Because Iceland's just fucking ridiculously expensive. But Twixes were cheap. They were like £2 for a bar of chocolate.
He's the Ocelot commander.
Yeah, new appreciation for
That's Major
Twixes.
Ocelot to you. And don't you forget it.
Sokolov is ours. Now get out of here.
And Ocelot never lets his prey escape.
What?
Ocelot's actually a piece of shit.
I can't say it feels good to kill a comrade, even if it is for the Gru.
Sokolov, take cover.
Huh. You're not the boss, are you?
I would like to try the varying flavors of Kit Kat that they have in Japan. I'm also going to be ordering loads of Calorie Mates ready for MGS Delta.
Crew operatives.
I'm just going to play that shit for like 48 hours straight and eat nothing but Calorie Mates. It's going to be lit.
Huh. That gun. If you're not the boss, then die.
I'm going to poop a big Calorie Mate once I'm done. Yeah, I'm going to I'm going to go to the toilet and drop a fucking log of sawdust. I don't know if you've ever had a Calorie Mate, but it's like eating fucking library books.
Major! Leave it! Shoot the other one! Whoa!
Calorie Mates, I got mine off Amazon. They're relatively cheap enough.
Impossible. You ejected the first bullet by hand, didn't you? I see what you were trying to do, but testing a technique you've only heard about in the middle of battle wasn't very smart. You were asking to have your gun jam on you. Besides, I don't think you're cut out for an automatic in the first place. You tend to twist your elbow to absorb the recoil.
Limbs McGee redeemed.
That's more
Ocelot
revolver
reload.
technique.
Get fucked!
You filthy American dog!
But that was some fancy shooting. You're pretty good.
Pretty good.
Major, do you read me?
I read you. Snake, you all right?
I've run into a few snags. These guys were after Sokolov too. Apparently they were taking orders from a GRU colonel named Volgan.
A GRU colonel?
Part of an internal Soviet power struggle, according to Sokolov. Something between the KGB and GRU. Between Khrushchev's supporters and Volgan's.
Sokolov was being guarded by the KGB and hunted by GRU? Snake, it sounds like this could be even hotter than Cuba.
I don't like it. Something about the whole thing stinks.
I agree. You'd better hurry.
Sokolov ran off by himself, but I'll catch up to him.
We're counting on you.
design paradox.
Ocelot is dead. Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of shit will happen to you before you fully digest uranium. $20 billion calories. God damn. God damn. Oh, does the monkey mask persist into cutscenes? Let's go!
Okay. Those men were from the Ocelot unit.
Spetsnaz?
Yes. The best crew has to offer. They're coming for me. I'm finished.
Calm down. I'll get you out of here, I promise. And we've got some of the best backup we could ask for.
Look.
You need to eat 10 million bananas in one sitting to die of banana-induced radiation poisoning.
That's what they were making.
Absolute potassium maxing.
Yes. The Shagohod. The treading behemoth. A tank capable of launching nuclear IRBMs.
It can launch nuclear missiles from that kind of terrain?
Oh, yes. And without support from friendly units.
A nuclear-equipped tank capable of operating solo. Is that thing finished?
No, this is only the end of Phase 1. It won't be truly finished until we complete Phase 2.
Phase 2?
The weapon's true form. If it is completed and the Colonel gets his hands on it, it will mean the end of the Cold War.
The end of the Cold War?
Yes. And then the Age of Fear will truly begin.
A world war.
I had no choice but to cooperate. I didn't want to die. I wanted to see my wife and child again in America. Please, take me to America, quickly. They cannot complete it without my help.
Got it. Let's go. Boss?
Good work, Jack.
What are you doing here?
Sokolov comes with me.
Hornets?
My friends, let us fight together again.
I have waited long for this day.
We will fight with you once more. Welcome back, boss.
Now that all 5 of us are together, it's time we go to the depths of hell itself.
Guys, now I'm picturing Donkey Kong as Big Boss. Punish Donkey Kong.
It's raining blood. Is he crying?
It's raining blood through a lacerated sky. Every fucking time it puts that song in my head, man.
Kuwabara, Kuwabara. Ah, what a joyful scene.
Colonel Vogan.
Welcome to my country. And to my unit.
Boss, what is this?
I'm defecting to
A
the
fucking
Soviet
mask,
Union.
man.
Sokolov is a little gift from my new hosts.
Recoilless nuclear warheads. These will make a fine gift for me.
What you reckon Volgan's benching?
Who is he? Another one of your disciples?
Like, he's fucking huge.
Are we taking him with us?
No, this one is still just a child. Too pure for us
He's
Cobras.
benching Rykov.
He has not yet found an emotion to carry into battle.
What are you talking about?
Think you can pull the trigger?
Oh shit, Ghost has crunched the numbers. He did rough maths. And we need at least 7.6 billion bananas to make 10th of a nuke? Damn.
He's seen my face. We can't let him live.
Wait, what is it in bananas that make them radioactive?
If Khrushchev finds out about this, we're finished. He must die.
Wait. He's my apprentice. I'll take care of him.
It's the potassium.
Jack, you can't come with us.
The peel. One sort of guy eat a banana, peel and all. Like, what a fucking psychopath. Pretty sure he's in jail now. Not for eating bananas, but... Can you imagine if you got sent to jail for eating bananas?
The new blood has been rejected. Are we done here?
Now, onto Sokolov's research facility.
Shagohod is ours.
Drift away. My place is with them now.
Drift away, monkey boy.
Snake, can you hear me?
Yeah. Just barely.
Snake, listen to me. You need emergency medical treatment. Can you move?
Kind of disappointing he doesn't have the monkey mask on in the codec screen.
Got to get those wounds treated. Hang in there. All right, let's get you fixed up. Paramedic?
Oh. Forgot the order. Fucking speedrun ruined. Wait, I might have the medical music here. Hang on. Ooh, I actually don't.
Good job, Snake.
We're coming to get you now. Just stay where you are. We'll drop a recovery balloon. Can you set it up?
Shagohod.
Wait, is the colouring on the final Shagohod different? It is, isn't it? They cover it in, like, camo pattern. Does look like the pupa, yeah. It's like black and red. How the fuck have I never noticed that before? God damn. What is it? The past couple of days of playing MGS3 have just been revelations of shit I've never seen before. I probably did, but I forgot. Same with the Shagahod hangar, like being able to go up in the rafters. Like, obviously I've played Snake vs. Monkey before, you know, so I obviously knew you could go up there, but at some point I just forgot.
A great success. Thanks to the boss and her cobras, I have both Sokolov and the Shagahod.
Filthy casual, yeah. Obviously I am.
What are we going to do with the girl?
Who is she?
Apparently she's Sokolov's woman.
Sokolov was hitting that?
She's a nice catch. I'll take her. Not so fast, my dear. A kiss of death?
Are you KGB?
We may be able to use her.
Can't wait to free cam the shit out of all these cutscenes, man.
She has spunk.
Shall we take her back to the base?
Perhaps we should. We have no further use for Sokolov's research facility. I think it's time I gave this marvelous new toy a try.
Yeah, yellow cake is just code for lots of crushed up bananas.
Even if they are our enemies, they're still our countrymen.
But it won't be me that pulled the trigger. It'll be our friend, the American defector.
You're going to nuke your fellow Russians?
Remember the Alamo.
Colonel!
I mean, I know nuking is a few orders of magnitude worse, but not 20 minutes ago. He was just shooting his fellow Russians. I am aware that, you know, his protest there is because it'll complicate his mission, but as opposed to him being, you know, morally against it. He's a triple agent, he's got to put up fronts. Yeah, exactly. This fucking mask, man. Yeah, fuck it, we'll just save over that stream that we've got. Oh no, I didn't want to save over that actually. Look at when that save was made, man. 2000. Holy fuck. Oh, no. How would it have been made in 2000? The game wasn't released in 2000. What the fuck am I on about? It's just the internal clock of the PlayStation must be very wrong.
What a thrill, with darkness and silence through the night. What a thrill. I'm searching and I'll melt into you. What a fear in my heart, but you're so supreme. I give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one else. someday you'll feed on a tree frog. It's ordeal, the trial to survive. For the day we see new light, I give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one else. Crime, it's the way I'd lie to you. I'm still in a dream, snake eater. I'm still in a dream, snake eater.
Counterpoint, Gosha. Sorry, retaliate. Indiana Jones style lines on maps intro, followed by Afghanistan's a big place. Counterpoint.
Designated drone launch point. Drone oil pressure and voltage are nominal. Payload oxygen supply is nominal. Power supply to payload antifreeze system shows no problems. No gusts. All systems go for drone detachment.
Snake, we can't risk a halo jump this time around. Airspace security has gotten tighter since we were last here. We can't get as close to the ground as we did during the virtual
Travel montage.
So instead, we'll be using one of our newest weapons. Snake, you're being given an honor on par with Alan Shepard.
He's still got the fucking mask on.
Show your patriotism. If you fail, you'll be back in a hospital bed again, waiting for the firing squad. So how does it feel to be a patient in one of the most advanced ICUs in the world?
Would you do me a favor and tell the suits about visiting hours? I'll never get better with them assaulting me day and night with their questions.
Must be part of the top brass's inquiry.
More like an interrogation. According to them, I'm a traitor and an accomplice to the boss's defection.
They're just looking for a scapegoat.
Does that mean they're after you too?
Let's just say neither one of us is going to be made a national hero out of this.
Does this mean Fox is going to die?
No. This fox is still one step ahead of the hounds. The reason I came to see you today, Jack, it's time for Fox to clear its name.
What are you talking about?
The situation has changed. We've still got a chance to come out of this one alive.
Yeah, what kind of chance?
Don't get too excited. Here, have a cigar. It's Cuban. This morning, I had a meeting with the CIA.
They decided when they're going to execute us?
No. Something even bigger. Yesterday, the White House received an unexpected call.
President Johnson?
Yes, I hear you, Mr. Chairman.
It was a hotline call from Khrushchev to President Johnson.
From the head of the Soviet Union?
That's right.
A few days ago, one of our country's main design bureaus, OKB 754, was destroyed in a nuclear explosion. At about the same time, our anti-aircraft radar picked up a signature that appeared to come from one of your military aircraft. Does any of this sound familiar to you? In retaliation, I have placed our armed forces on secondary alert. Depending on your response, I may be left with no choice but to order the military to maximum alert and unleash Armageddon. With the help of your predecessor, I was able to survive the Cuban incident. But my power is not as great as it once was. I am to survive this crisis, I must have your full cooperation.
I should have contacted you myself. Did you know that one of our soldiers defected to your country a week ago?
No.
So you haven't heard then. The man who arranged the defection was a GRU colonel by the name of Yevgeny Borosovich Volgin.
Yevgeny Borosovich Volgin.
Of the Brezhnev faction. Go on. Who is
The name Yevgeny sounds amazing
Her
in
name
a southern
is the
accent.
Boss.
Yevgeny.
She's a living legend. During World War II, she was the one who led us to victory in that war. In Russia, you know her as Voyevoda.
You mean the boss? The mother of your special forces?
Yes, that's the one. And she took 2 miniature nuclear shells along with her.
The boss took 2 miniature nuclear shells.
I'm afraid so. I believe they were a gift for her new hosts. The Davy Crockett Atomic Battle Group delivery system was completed 2 years ago. But serious problems were found with the launcher's range and precision. Although they were mass-produced, they've never been deployed in battle.
But Sokolov's research facility was completely wiped out. The whole area is polluted.
I can only offer you my deepest condolences over this terrible tragedy.
So, the boss, with Colonel Volgin's help, stole 2 experimental nuclear shells and took them with her as gift when she defected.
Yeah, I like the
Then,
southern
shortly
accent as well.
thereafter, Sokolov's design lab, a top-secret military research facility, was destroyed by one of these weapons. Am I right so far?
Yes, that's correct.
And the American government denies any involvement in the affair. Is that right as well?
That's correct. We were not involved in any way.
Then what was a U.S. military aircraft doing on our radar screen? It was clearly in violation of our airspace. And yet you say it was not acting under your orders.
That's correct.
You expect me to believe that this was all the work of a single soldier?
I don't know what else to tell you.
The army insists that this is all a ploy on your part.
I've said it once and I'll say it again. Our government had nothing to do with it.
And I would like dearly to believe you. However, I'm afraid my power over the military has weakened since the Cuban incident. I will need some kind of proof that this was not the action of the American government. You have 1 week. You must catch the boss yourselves and recover the remaining nuclear device. Then, you must find some way to prove your innocence.
Prove our innocence?
Yes, preferably something painful. Prove to me that this is not merely another one of your tricks.
The boss should be close to Colonel Volgin. How about a little co-action?
I would not expect too much if I were you. The political situation here is unstable. And Colonel Volgin is a member of the Brezhnev faction, which seeks to topple my government. 1 week. You have only 1 week. And if it is not too much to ask, do something about Volgin as well.
What is that supposed to mean?
Nothing. It means nothing. Call it a modest gentleman's agreement to ensure our continued relationship.
What if we can't prove our innocence?
Then I will be unable to restrain the military. I will be ousted, and they will seek their revenge.
A nuclear attack on the United States?
I leave the disposal of this situation entirely to your discretion, Mr. President.
Disposal?
If you fail, it will mean the beginning of a new world war.
To put it simply, in order to avoid a full-scale nuclear conflict, we have to
Put it
prove
simply.
that America was not involved in that
Oh, they've
explosion.
got shit. What's his name? Forgot his name. Voice of Zero.
America's innocence.
He's back, right?
Right. The higher-ups have decided that you're the only
So
one
he's
capable of
re-recording
pulling
some
this off.
dialogue, or recording some new
You are her
dialogue.
last apprentice. Screw this one up, and we'll both be 6 feet under. There's no choice.
wonder if we'll hear the difference in his voice.
Are the Russians going to be helping us?
The KGB has promised to lend us one of their communications satellites so that
Jim
you and I
Piddock,
can
that's
talk
it.
to each other.
That's it?
They've also put us in touch with a couple of insiders.
Insiders?
There was a defection in September 1960. Do you remember it?
You mean the 2 NSA codebreakers who went over to the Soviet Union?
Precisely. Since then, they've apparently been training with the KGB for exactly this kind of situation. Their code names are Adam and Eva. I've been told that Adam has infiltrated Volgin's ranks. We've also arranged for him to provide you with an escape route. You'll need to rendezvous with him when you get there.
Why did it make it
Control.
sound like that
Unidentified aircraft detected
sound was
altitude
being made by the
30,000
drone?
feet.
I need to turn up zoom. It's a bit
fast.
quiet.
Estimated airspeed exceeding Mach 3. Bearing south. I'm about to lose it.
Quiero.
Oh, unfortunately, zoom is as loud as it'll go.
Quiero.
Normalize the sound file's volume or something? Yeah.
This is Snake. Do you read me?
Loud and clear. Glad to see you landed safely.
I got blown pretty far off target.
Snake, let's go over your mission objectives one more time. Rescue Sokolov. Find out what's happened to the Shagohod, then destroy it. And finally, eliminate the boss.
Eliminate the boss.
This mission will be codenamed Operation Snake Eater.
Because I'll be taking on the boss in our Cobra unit, right?
Don't forget about Colonel Volgin.
I'm not a hired killer.
I know, but that was the Kremlin's demand.
Demand? You mean it wasn't just a request? What's it to us if the Khrushchev regime is threatened by the Colonel and his faction?
If supporting the current regime helps us avoid a nuclear exchange, then that's what we'll do.
And what are the CIA's demands?
Our priorities are the rescue of Sokolov and the destruction of the Shagohod.
Roger that, Major Tom.
Hold on, Snake.
What now?
I'm changing my codename. It turns out
Ground
Tom
control
wasn't
to
the most
Major
auspicious choice.
Tom.
What do you mean?
Well, the truth is, when I chose my codename, I picked the wrong one.
The wrong one?
Did you ever see the movie The Great Escape? It came out last year.
Oh, must have missed that one.
Anyway, it's based on a true story about prisoners who escaped from a POW camp in Nazi Germany. The prisoners dig 3 tunnels as part of their plan, but the Nazis find 2 of the tunnels before they're finished. The prisoners succeed in escaping by using the last remaining tunnel. The names of those 3 tunnels were Dick, Harry, and Tom.
I get it. You used the name of the tunnel they escaped in as your code name because you thought it would bring you good luck.
Yes, that's exactly right. At least, that was the plan.
But
But I got the name wrong. The one they escaped in was Harry. Tom was one of the unlucky tunnels. It was discovered by the Nazis before it was finished. I watched the movie again just to make sure. In fact, I even ordered the actual film from the movie company.
yeah, it doesn't sound like the greatest name to use. So what should I call you?
You know, Let's just use 0, like we've been doing all along.
All right, then. Major 0 it is. We'll start over from square 1.
From square 0. My frequency is 140.85. Oh, I almost forgot. Paramedic is with us again on this mission.
Is this her last chance, too?
If we fail, she'll have her medical license revoked. It's more or less the same kind of fate. Her frequency is the same as during the Virtuous mission, 145.73. She'll be recording your mission data as well, just like the last time. That frequency is also the same, 140.96. And there's one more person on your support team. His name is Mr. Sigint. He's an expert on the latest in weapons and equipment technology. You'll be going up against some of the world's most advanced weaponry when you infiltrate the research facility. If you have any questions, just ask him. His frequency is 148.41.
This fucking quack couldn't even save the world from nuclear annihilation.
Adam, your
Good luck
KGB
without a medical
contact is waiting
license.
for you
Yeah.
at the abandoned factory up ahead.
Seems a bit harsh, doesn't it?
Sokolov was being held in last week.
Yes, meet up with Adam first. He's cleared the way for you to rescue Sokolov.
I mean,
How'll I know this Adam
he does
guy
turn
when I
into
see
a
him?
You'll know once you reach the factory.
world
The whole area has been
dominating
polluted by the
mad
fallout from that
scientist
nuclear
conducting
blast.
human experiments
No
and
one else
shit,
would dare
so
come close.
fuck.
Password is, who are
Maybe
the
they were right to
Patriots?
take her license off her, you know,
Lali-lu-le-lo.
if that had happened. Maybe that would have been the best outcome.
You've been equipped with a 45 for this mission. Be careful, it's noisy.
I thought standard Fox procedure was procure on-site weapons acquisition.
The circumstances are different this time. You're now on an official mission for the United States government. It would be necessary to make your presence known to a certain extent, to the Khrushchev regime at the very least. But remember, this is still a sneaking mission. Snake, if you fail this mission, it will mean an all-out nuclear war. Keep that in mind and proceed with extreme caution.
Understood. Commencing Operation Snake Eater.
Ground control, Major Tom. Something engines on. Eat your calorie mate, monkey mask on. The horse, Grandpa? No, it's the same horse. No, it's not the same horse. A horse dies in Peace Walker. Fuck. Good job Ben's not here.
Looks like death wasn't ready for you yet.
Boss.
That arm still hurt?
What are you doing here?
Go home. Go home. Gru and my sons are waiting up ahead.
The monkey mask is like the goblin mask. It
You don't
speaks to
have a
Snake.
prayer of finishing your mission. You're
Forces
not
him
even
to do
armed.
war crimes.
Boss.
I'm not your boss anymore. There's nothing for you here. Go home. Go back to your boss. There's no need to prove that you are virtuous here. This isn't America. That should stir things up a bit. You'd better hurry. The border is 60 miles south of here. You ought to be able to run that far.
Why'd you defect?
I didn't. I'm loyal to the end, to my purpose. What about you, Jack? What's it going to be? Loyalty to your country or loyalty to me? Your country or your old mentor? The mission or your beliefs? Your duty to your unit or your personal feelings?
Or the monkey mask.
You don't know the truth yet. But sooner or later, you'll have to choose. I don't expect you to forgive me. But you can't defeat me either. You know me too well. Just look at that bandana. If you can't put the past behind you, you won't survive long. If we meet again, I'll kill you. Now, go home.
This is Snake. Major Zero.
I read you, Snake.
I was ambushed by the boss.
You were what?
The drone's been shot to hell. It's up in flames.
That's not good. Enemy scouts are going to come looking for you.
Yeah, I know. But what was the boss doing here in the first place? There's got to be a leak somewhere.
No, that's impossible. The man the boss is working with, Volgin, isn't exactly on speaking terms with Khrushchev.
I lost my gun. The boss destroyed it.
Snake, I know how you're feeling. It's hard for me to believe, too, that a legendary hero like the boss would go over to the Russians. That she'd double-cross us like this. But that's how it is, and if you don't accept it, you'll never be able to beat her.
That's not the problem. In terms of sheer technique, I'll never be able to beat her. I know that all too well.
You've got to do it, Snake. She's your enemy and your objective.
Enemy? We were together for 10 years, and now you tell me she's my enemy?
Enough. Hurry to the factory where Adam is waiting. Scouts have probably already been sent out to investigate the explosion. You've lost your weapon, right?
It's antics.
You've got no chance of winning in a battle situation. Whatever you do, don't let them see you.
Ba, 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 ba. Oh. Stun G's! Let's go! Oh, fuck.
What the hell is this?
Still got it. Although that monkey mask makes it that much harder. Like, oh, where am I putting the stun grenade? Oh, just by there. Blacktown OP. It makes the Ocelots laugh in the ravine fight? I know that. Or again, I probably knew that at some point, but have since forgotten. Fucking guy.
Huh?
Let's get the AK. AK-47. There is a monkey mask mod for 5, right? Someone's made that, right?
Sorry I'm late.
Cut the engine. They'll hear us.
Are you the agent they sent?
Are you Adam? I thought you were supposed to be a man.
Adam couldn't make it.
All right, say the password. Who are the Patriots? Who are the Patriots? Answer me! Trapped.
Get down! There is your answer. The name's Eva.
Yo, what the fuck? Why is he taking the mask off?
Part of the plan. What happened to Adam?
What's your code name?
All my fucking money back.
Snake.
Snake, huh? Well, I'm Eva. Are you here to tempt me?
What happened to Adam?
Colonel Volgan is a very suspicious man. He decided Adam wasn't the right person for this mission.
And you were?
Yes,
Why?
because I can do things he can't.
Like have boobs.
I heard you used to be a codebreaker for the NSA.
I was. 4 years ago, I defected to the Soviet Union with Adam.
Mauser military. The broom handle.
It packs quite a punch. Nice to have when you're on a bike.
You held it sideways and used the muzzle jump to create a horizontal sweep. That was impressive.
Bet you've never seen that technique in the West.
It's imitation, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a Chinese Type 17 pistol. Around here, even that's hard to come by. Don't worry, though. The one I've got for you is American-made.
.45, huh? Incredible.
Do you like it?
The feeding ramp is polished to a mirror sheen. The slide's been reinforced, and the interlock with the frame is tightened for added precision. The sight system is original too. The thumb safety is extended to make it easier on the finger. A long type trigger with non-slip grooves. A ring hammer. The base of the trigger guard's been filed down for a higher grip. And not only that, nearly every part of this gun has been expertly crafted and customized. Where'd you get something like this?
I grabbed it from a Western munitions armory. It probably used to belong to one of your officers, and there are more where that came from. You
I
had
love
this
it.
with you,
It's just
didn't you?
listening to it purr.
Better take this
Just dry firing it, just like,
What's
oh yeah,
that?
that's it.
A disguise to make you look like a scientist.
A disguise?
Yes. You're here to rescue Sokolov, right?
He's just like,
Sokolov's still safe then.
Yes. He's
oh,
been
that's it, that's the stuff.
On the Shagohod.
Where?
At the lab.
Whisper sweet
They've got
nothings
a
to me.
whole army of scientists there developing new weapons. Security is tight, but if you disguise yourself as a scientist, you might be able to sneak in.
Can we get Sokolov out of there?
We'll see, won't we?
Tell me how to get to the lab.
The safest way in is from the rear. First, you'll need to head north through the jungle. You'll come to a heliport used for shipping materials. Pass the heliport and continue north, and there will be a large crevice. Descend into that area, and you'll reach a cave. Move through the cave, and you will arrive at a mangrove swamp. After the swamp, there'll be a warehouse.
Am I playing with my SOCOM?
Make your way through the warehouse, and you'll come out just south of the lab.
Yes.
Got it.
And just what are you doing there?
In close-range combat, a knife can sometimes be more useful than a gun. By doing this, I'll be able to hold a knife at the same time and still keep the gun steady. That way, I can instantly switch between a gun battle and a knife fight. Right, let's get going.
Wait a minute.
What now?
You must be tired. Why don't you take a little rest?
I'll be fine.
You'll never make it in your condition. It's a jungle out there. There's still an hour before dawn. It's dangerous to be out in the jungle at night without a guide.
What about you?
I have to get back. I can't be gone for too long. They'll start to suspect something. Don't worry. I'll keep you updated over the radio.
That's it?
My orders are to provide you with information, nothing more. You look disappointed. All right, then. I'll do something special for you. I'll stand watch until dawn. Now be a good boy and lie down. What's the matter?
I don't know you well enough to trust you.
How well do you have to know me to trust me?
I don't know if I can trust anybody.
Gonna get that?
She's right, Snake. You should get some sleep. Although in your condition, you really ought to be back in the ICU.
Quiero.
Whenever you save the game and quit, you'll go to sleep. Sleeping allows you to gain back stamina naturally. Depending on how long you sleep, you may also recover naturally from sickness and injury. When you're tired or hurt, the best thing to do is just get some sleep. So do yourself a favor and take a nap. Doctor's orders, okay?
Yeah, okay.
Honk shoe time. Do you get the mask back on? Yes! I wonder what that means for how the game's like programmed. Why does it come off when he's fawning over his gun? Monkey mask. Restricting bum view.
What's the matter?
We're surrounded. I see 4 of them.
We've got company. It's the Ocelot unit. Let's get out of here. Hurry. Don't forget your gear.
It's an anti-pervert mask.
Here, give me a hand.
So the gun doesn't clip into the mask when he's like listening to it purr.
We can use this to get to the basement. Damn it, Ocelot. I'll get past them on my bike. I'll call you later.
Okay, I'll keep them busy. Huh?
Don't go dying on me now.
You kissed a monkey. You kissed a monkey, Prof. Monkey. Oh, fuck. Alright. New technique. The mask stays on during sex and enemy assaults. Attackers, let's go. Do need to equip the box though.
Move!
Fuck off.
I see him! Spread out! Take this!
What? Where did he go? Who's ninjaing who here? I'm going to die. This fucking mask. Oh, there's that animation that we've never seen before. Again. Twice in one stream.
I see him!
Fuck, Snake, come on. How many we got left? 3. Oh. Oh wait, I got an AK. Why have I not been rocking the AK? Nice. Whoa. It's a funny bug. We're discovering all sorts of bugs on this playthrough. Monkey, isn't it?
I've been waiting for this moment. That's it. That's the stance. I don't think so. What? A female spy? This bitch is wearing perfume. Stay where you are. I've had enough of your judo.
I see you've got yourself a single-action army.
That's right. There'll be no accidents this time.
You call that an accident? Well, it wouldn't have happened if you hadn't been showing off.
What did you say?
It's a nice gun, I'll give you that. But the engraving gives you no tactical advantage whatsoever. Unless you were planning to auction it off as a collector's item. And you're forgetting one more very basic thing. You don't have what it takes to kill me.
We'll see.
That thing only carries 6 shots. The Makarov carries 8. You have to get a feel for how many you have left. This is a high-class weapon. It's not meant for shooting people.
Damn! This isn't over yet.
Don't.
Why?
He's still young.
You'll regret stopping me. Damn it! I've got to get that before he does.
Well, that went well.
Saving the game, Snake?
Checking memory card. PS2.
Hey, Snake, you ever heard of Godzilla, King of Monsters?
No, what is it?
It's a movie. You haven't seen it?
Nope.
It's about this monster called Godzilla, who grows to an enormous size in a nuclear test and goes on a rampage in Tokyo.
Nuclear test, huh? Then the Marshall Islands must be crawling with giant monsters right about now.
It's just make-believe.
Maybe that's why my pants have been so tight lately.
Snake, it's a movie.
Is he talking
Not
about
a
his
report
dick?
Out of Los Alamos.
I know. So then what happened?
Godzilla is immune to all weapons, and humanity has no way to stop the monster. Dr. Shirazawa develops a new type of weapon, but meanwhile, Godzilla is getting closer and closer to Tokyo, obliterating everything in
Giant
its path.
snake penis. I think, yeah, I think that's what he's talking about.
It was originally a Japanese movie, but they made an American version, too. I recommend seeing the original Japanese one if you ever get the chance. It's mostly mindless fun, but it's also got a serious anti-nuke message as well.
Where can I see the original?
You'll just have to go to Japan.
Really? That's too bad.
Well, if you wait 40 years, you might be able to see it in America, too.
Why's that?
2004 will be Godzilla's 50th birthday.
You think they're still going to be making Godzilla movies then?
Of course! Everybody loves Godzilla.
You sure know a lot about movies.
I don't suppose you're the movie-watching type, are you?
Not really.
Okay, then I'll tell you everything I know. When the going gets tough, movies can save your life. It's always good to be able to look at things from a different perspective when you get in a jam. That's the magic of movies.
No kidding. Well, I guess it might at least make a nice distraction.
That's the spirit, Snake. Have a little fun.
Alright, dudes. Well, I am going to call it there. So thank you very much for tuning in today. It's been very fun. Playing MGS3 Monkey Mode. Seeing as we unlocked it yesterday for doing all the monkey missions. I was going to throw out a host to Vague, who's going to be going live soon, but unfortunately I need to skedaddle, so I can't wait any longer. But go and check out Vaguely Someone. He'll be live later playing some Final Fantasy stuff. There you go. That's the name of his Twitch channel there. When will I be live next? Tomorrow, maybe? If not, I'll be back to normal schedule next week. So there'll be more probably MGS3 stuff. OG hardware, as well as MGS3 kind of viewer kits, which was the other thing I was going to do today. So I have like a little cheat program that I can use for the Master Collection version of MGS3, which allows me to kind of just change up Snake's inventory and health and all this stuff on the fly. So we can do, I don't know, we can make up our own Metal Gear 3 roguelite. You know, you guys can be like, right, you can only use the fork in this area and you need to kill all the guards or whatever. We can just make up our own objectives and, I don't know, RPGs only or so, I don't know. You know, we can just go nuts with it. The only limit is our imagination. So we'll be doing that at some point. You know, we're gonna get hyped for Delta. And there'll be all sorts of other Metal Gear stuff coming. You know the drill, guys. So thank you very much for hanging out today. Till next time, take care of yourselves. Have a good one. and I'll see you soon. Peace.